Hi, this is Catherine, and welcome back to Taking Tea with Catherine. Today I'm drinking from the lovely Simpson and Vale, lovely tea. I keep saying lovely, called Burgundy Blast. It is a nice red wine colored herbal, non caffeinated tea, which is great for nighttime and great if you like wine but feel like drinking tea as well. Perfect combination. I do like it, but I've also had it for a little while, so I need to drink it. So I need to drink it instead of buying new ones. And that kind of ties into what I'm going to talk about today. It always actually ties into my book reading. But one of the problems I have with a lot of things is when I like something, I just get too many things, I hoard them, and I don't always use everything. And I have this problem not just with books that I read, but books that I write in. So I mentioned briefly the last time that I like to write. And I would not call myself a writer as far as like in a professional sense. I've only published a couple of things and it's really not enough to call myself a writer. But I enjoy writing and I like the process of writing. I like the feeling of being somewhat creative or even just being organized and making lists. And I've had a form of scribbling into something without being, required to do so at school since I was about 7 or 8 years old. So many, quite a few years. And pretty much the whole time since then, I've had some kind of diary, journal, sketchbook, notebook, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it all kinds of things as we talk. And yeah, I started out with one of those restrictive, I call them very restrictive diaries, the ones that have the date in it and a few lines, and you have to write everything that day, otherwise you have to go on to the next day. And then there were a lot of blank pages because some days I just didn't feel like writing. And yeah, I was young and I didn't write that much anyway. So, and my mother bought me a really nice, fancy looking journal one time, a couple of years later, and it was gilded edges, etc. And I wrote a lot of garbage in it, but I'm glad I had it. It felt very pretty and nice to write in. I realized that there was more to scribbling and things than just keeping a diary. It was just a different form of writing in a book. And I've kept, poetry journals, I've kept gratitude journals, I've kept art, mixed media type journals, kind of therapeutic things. Wine journals, I call it, which is not about the beverage. It's about whining about my life, which sometimes is good, but sometimes it's a little too much dwelling on the negative. And of course I've kept book journals because, before I blogged or vlogged or had online apps, I always kept somewhere a list of the books I was reading, at least most of the time. So a good portion of my life I have documented the books that I read, which is good. Not all of my life, but it's good. And so to this day, I have kept different types of writing, scribbling down thingies. And one of the things I do is, even when I'm not really that much, even if I don't have much to write about, along with carrying a book that I read, at least one book that I read, I also carry a book to write in. And then I carry pens, usually fountain pens, which I'll talk about another time. And yeah, I just like to know. Yes, I know I have a phone or sometimes a tablet that I have with me that I could scribble something in its own way, but there's something about having a book to write in, to scribble, and sometimes to draw. Even if I'm not that great at it, I like to know that I can do that. I don't know, it's just me, and I know a lot of other people are like that too, because there is a market. And I've bought way too many journals over the years, and I've been given way too many journals over the years, but thank you, people who've given it to me. People know that I like these sort of things, so they give them to me, and I'm grateful. But instead of just constantly buying more, I have toned down recently, like I have with my clothes buying, which is good. But I have three that are actually newish acquisitions, two of which were gifts, and one of which is one of the very few notebooks or blank books that I bought this year. So congratulations, me. I've had a little bit of self-control. And I had a book that I was carrying around with me that I forgot to bring here to show you. Oh well. It's just a little book, and it had the themes of London because somebody knew that I liked London, and they, because I'm so obvious, and they gave it to me. So, yeah, it was great, and I've been, occasionally scribbling in it or writing lists, and notes, etc. And fantastic, but I'm almost done with it, so I need to move on to my next one. And I thought I'd do a little possible audience participation. I'm not going to base my choice on audience participation unless there's a lot of encouragement on something. But I'm going to show you 3 journals. And if you like one specifically, please comment down below and tell me which one I should use. And if I get more of one than another, I'll use that one because you've made my decision for me. That'd be great. But I already had to narrow 3 down from quite a few. And one of the major criteria is that I could schlep it with me because I've had big notebooks that I thought, oh, I love it. It's so pretty. And it looks like I do a lot of writing in it. And I brought it with me and it was just so heavy. And I use a backpack a lot when I go out, but I don't want to overburden myself because that's a little silly. But these are just light enough, like I'm holding them right now. They're just light enough where I feel I can bring them with me. So let's get started, and I will show you the first one, which is a gift from a friend of mine who recently moved to California. And we're both of an age where we said this expression that is on the front of this often over the years. And I don't know if people still say it, but TMI, too much information. And it's kind of fitting for me because I have been known sometimes to say too much. Not so much untactful things that I shouldn't say, but I mean, someone will ask me something about myself and I'll tell them a lot more than I needed to. Or someone will ask me about a subject that I like and I will go on and on and on and on. And sometimes it's just too much information. So what better way to contain it than maybe to write the information in here? So that's kind of cool. And I prefer blank books, nothing in it but just blank pages. Some people don't like that because they feel their handwriting's messed up or whatever. I used to have really, really bad handwriting to the point that in 5th grade I was given a D, which is like one grade above F, which is fail, on handwriting. And I was doing well in all my other subjects, so it was a wake-up call, but I had trouble holding my pen or pencil correctly. And then a little while later, I took a calligraphy class, and I'll talk about this probably another time when I talk about fountain pens, but the calligraphy class helped kind of discipline my hand to write a certain way. And ever since then, I don't have perfect handwriting, but I do have better handwriting. Sometimes it's quite nice. And I find that I don't need lines most of the time to write, especially in English. But I don't mind. I went through a phase where I really did mind, but now I'm cool. I will enjoy this. And what I really enjoy too, because I know a lot of the blank book / journal companies, Paper Blanks springs to mind. I have a few of theirs and they're a little pricey, but they're really beautiful. But then sometimes when they're that beautiful, you're afraid to use them. So there's that. This one is a brand or a make or a company, whatever, that I've never heard of. The Frantic Meerkat, which is adorable and mildly Victorian-y, Edwardian, steampunky, which I was talking about the other day. I mean, the book really isn't, but that's okay. The website is mincingmockingbird.com. So that's cool too. Made in California. Well, manufactured in China. International. So that's one choice. The next choice is another gift that a friend gave me. And the company is Chronicle Books. Also from California. Also manufactured in China. Yeah. Well, hey, Taking Tea with Catherine. A lot of tea came from China. Let's just connect the dots. Anyway, so she just gave this as a nice little gift one day, and I was very grateful. I don't know what you call this. Do they call these mandalas? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's ever so slightly psychedelic-ish. Ever so slightly kaleidoscopy. Groovy, man. I don't know. All the pages have some pretty detailing in them. Kind of like when I do my little doodling, actually. I will do things like this. So they're all kind of decorative and pretty. I think it's kind of nice. I used to have a bit of reputation of being into stuff, the styles of the 60s and 70s at some point. Very flower childy. So I guess it still kind of fits me a little bit. And And I think it's the biggest one of the books, but it's still pretty light. So I could carry this around with me, and this is also slightly autumnal. So yeah, that's choice number 2. Now, number 3 is very me, and crazily so, but I saw it, and it was love at first sight, even though it's lined. And again, I don't mind that as much anymore because, oh my goodness, I can't wait to show this to you. This is also Chronicle Books, so I guess I gotta get to know this company a little more. ChronicleBooks.com. I'm trying to see if it says manufactured in China as well, because that would be funny. Yep. 3 for 3. Okay, here we go. Okay. I mean, look, I have a cat teapot lurking in the background. And here, look at this. It's not just cats, not just a bunch of kitty cats, which would be fine. It is bookstore cats. And it's got every kind of cat and these are real cats, by the way. And I'll tell you how I know this, all right? So this first one I love, Sterling, because he looks like a cat my sister used to have, and I had briefly also, who, just a beautifully lovely cat named Bubuk. Yes. But this cat's name is Sterling. But I love the black cats with the mustaches. You don't see them as often, but actually you do sometimes. And I think they're so cute. But I digress. The third one, this little head right here, Tiny the Usurper, I think I mentioned him before. He's in Community Bookstore in Brooklyn. I have met him twice, and he is a lovely, lovely cat. The only thing he usurps is my heart when I go in there. So I don't know the other cats, although some of them sound vaguely familiar because I, of course, follow Bookshop Cats on Instagram, Facebook, wherever cats may be. So, it would be lovely. I know cats, they die too. And some of the bookshop cats I followed have died since. Oh, but anyway, let's not get depressing. I would love if I could do a travel thing, which I can't, but would be to go to every single bookshop with these cats and see every single one. And not that I would have them sign it because I'm not nuts, but wouldn't that be fun? Anyway, so I just think that's cute. Nishi, Zeus, Emma, Ender. Tilsa said, okay, I'm not going to keep reading this, but also the back is kind of nice too. And, they actually tell you inside, all the bookshops that they come from. So we got one in Philadelphia. I could do that. San Jose, California, maybe. Tacoma, Washington. Oh my goodness, there's one in British Columbia, Canada, but I've always wanted to go there. We got, okay, I'm talking a lot, right? Oh, there's one in Lima, Peru. I went to Peru once, but I don't think I'm going back anytime soon. Okay. So, but anyway, goals. And this is lovely, the little Ex Libris situation, right? A cat on books. Oh, it's so cute. I'm cuted out. And every page just has the kitty cats. So anyway, and again, lightweight, which I can always use. And I'd be a little afraid of getting things all mashed up in my bag, but I'm afraid of that with every journal, so I'm not going to be too scaredy cat about that. So, those were the 3 books that I have selected as my possible new books, my next books. And please, if you like any of them particularly, and you say you need to write this in this one, comment below. Do not ask me for them because you're not getting them unless you ask really, really, really nicely. But no. And yeah, that's all. So that's a slightly different episode of Taking Tea with Catherine. If you like our discussions, I encourage you to subscribe, and I will try to follow you as well if you have a BookTube channel or something else, maybe a cat channel or a tea channel. So yes, and hope you've enjoyed. This has been Taking Tea with Catherine. Bye.